This is my 33-gallon long. I just posted a video recently showing all the problems that I was having with this tank. And I bleach dipped all my plants. I did a couple of major water changes. This is basically the result. You'll see the green algae is still pretty prevalent in here, but my hair algae, 100% gone. I had it, there's grass over here in the corner that really never got established before it got overtaken. There we go. In hair algae. Now it had it. There it is. And even that has cleared up. So, and I sprayed that with hydrogen peroxide. Got it along there and along there. It's greening up. It's starting to grow again. There was a little bit of melt, dieback on some of my plants. You can see it there on the onion. Everything plant-wise is doing much, much better now as far as hair algae. I think I finally beat that problem. The tank's looking pretty good at the moment. Compared to what it was. It's got a ways to go. I'm not there yet, but I definitely feel like I'm gaining some ground. Hey everybody. I finally got an update coming for you. I'm working on a new project. I've had CO2 in this tank for quite a while, and I'm currently working on adding CO2 to my 32-gallon, which I've got a clip of to show you here. It's doing better. I've got the hair algae pretty well eliminated. I don't see any signs of it anywhere, and I'm just keeping a close eye on it over the next few days. Been doing regular water changes. Still struggling with the green algae, whatever it is, but I'm getting there. I think, and I talk about it in the clip, I think I've got to do something about the stone in it. I think it's kind of the wrong kind of stone. I think it's probably either limestone or contains limestone, because it's really jacking my pH, which not to a dangerous level, but I don't know. I'm just wondering how it's affecting the algae growth and the other biological growth in it. The fish seem to be doing fine, so I don't want to just yank it all out and put something else in and crash the system. But I'm thinking about pulling at least some of it out and doing it piecemeal, a little at a time, just to kind of see what I can come up with, see if it helps with the algae problems. But I'm going to do it slowly and over a period of time, just to avoid any sudden and drastic changes. I think this next video is going to be kind of cool. I'm gonna kind of do a mix of things. I'm gonna try and cover that CO2 setup. I'll give you an update on both the tanks, maybe all three of the tanks. They're all actually doing really well. I've got new growth as far as my plants in all of the tanks. I'm starting to get things dialed in, so I'm pretty excited about that. Things are starting to show a lot of new growth and are looking healthy, and I'm starting to get some of the algae problems under control. Just trying little things, one thing at a time, and I feel like I'm starting to get a grasp on some of this. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited. I'm sure I'm not covering anything that everybody else hasn't done 100 times, but it's new to me, and I've struggled with some of these problems for a long time. So it feels real good to begin to dial in on them and start to affect some change on them. One of the problems you can see I'm still fighting with is lighting with this new camera. I bought a new Handycam camera, and I have a really nice Nikon that I use for my still photography, and it shoots really great video. The problem is it doesn't have a selfie screen, so you'll know you can see in several of the videos where things are out of focus and my head's chopped off, and that was the reason for it. I couldn't see what I was shooting. So I went out and bought this camera, and the light, it's really harsh. It's hard to adjust. I don't have the control with it that I do with the other camera. And so I'm not loving this camera. I kind of look like a zombie in most of the videos because it makes my eyes dark. And I've tried different things with lighting, and took a whole different approach this time, thinking based on my last video where I had a bunch of people tell me you look really tired because I had big black circles under my size. So I tried adjusting the lighting to kind of shine up under that instead of down on it to eliminate some of the shadows. But based on what I'm seeing in the selfie view right now, it doesn't seem like it worked very well. But I promise you, I'm not a zombie. I do record these late. I record them after work in the middle of the week. But I'm a second shifter, so sometimes it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm recording. But I don't look as bad as I do in these videos. It's really just a serious lighting issue. So bear with me. I am working on it, and I will get it figured out so that I can give you quality videos that don't look like an old black and white with poor contrast. But anyway, getting sidetracked there. You can't see it right now, but I will take a clip of it later. But you can kind of see, like right up here at the top of this tank, you can see some leaves kind of poking down into the top of the tank. That is pothos. I watched Mike from Mass Aquarium's video on his tea-colored tank. I can't remember the term for it, but he's if you haven't seen it, check out his videos. He's got a really amazing tank going on right now that he's added pothos to the top of and has it growing up out of. And his claim was that it's obviously going to help pull a lot of nitrates and stuff out of the water. And I happen to have one of those plants here in the house, so I figured, what the hell, I'll give it a try. So I ran some strings up the wall, and I kind of wrapped I cut some slips off the plant and wrapped them around it and stuck them in there. And it's taken a little while, but they are finally starting to root. So I'm excited to see what those do and see how that helps my parameters in my tank. This tank's doing pretty fantastic right now. The fish are all healthy. My parameters stay fairly well balanced. I'm only doing a water change. I actually went 2 weeks this last time, only because I was gone last weekend. I wasn't able to do my water change. I usually do them every weekend. I went 2 full weeks on this tank before I saw any sign of an algae bloom. At the end of that 2 weeks, it definitely needed it. You could see it starting to come in and come in fast, but I never could have gone that long before. So between the growth in the plant and in the tank and starting to get my CO2 kind of dialed in and messing with my lighting, I'm feeling like this tank's really getting established, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I'll shoot some footage of that so you can get an update on that. I've got some footage of the 33, so that's still not perfect. It's still kind of a green slimy mess, but it's a lot better than it was. Like I said, the hair algae is almost completely gone, or is completely gone, as I'm hoping. So that updates that. The 20 gallon is still doing great. Still getting some new growth. I did relocate the bamboo plant that was in the corner. I actually planted it up in the top of the filter, and I've got a light on that, just so it gets the sunlight, because the room that tank is in has absolutely no windows, so I have to get some light to it somehow. And I'm kind of watching that to see if we get some growth there. So a lot of little stuff, just puttering around, messing with my tanks, and starting to dial things in, and I'm seeing some really good results. I am getting ready to move my CO2 system. I've got it set up here on the 60-gallon tank so that it provides CO2 to this, and it's worked pretty well. It's a good setup. It was fairly inexpensive. I can put a link in the description to all the products I used in the build, but what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to move it in and use it on my 33-gallon tank. The problem is I need to add a splitter, which I have here. So I need to add this onto this setup, which is going to make the tank too tall to fit in this cabinet. So my goal, because the cabinet that the other tank is sitting on is taller, I'm going to move the whole system over there, set this up on it, and then pipe the CO2 back out to this tank so that I can do both. got installed. I ran the lines, the vinyl tubing to run from the other room out to here. I still have some work to do. I did go through with a spray bottle with some soap and water after and spray all the joints to make sure that I didn't have any leaks so that I'm not losing CO2 anywhere. I still want to create some kind of a tube to encase the vinyl tubing in where I ran it across the door jamb, because it's a high traffic area. I'm going to put a jam plate over it, but I didn't do that tonight because I want to create some kind of a tube to actually protect that vinyl. I don't want it getting damaged in any way. What else? I'm hoping that I've got things dialed in pretty close to what I had here for the CO2. It does flow a little bit differently, so I'm splitting the pressure, I'm coming a lot further distance now. So I tried to get it as close as I had it, but we'll see. I adjusted the lights on the 33-gallon tank so that they match the time that the solenoid runs. I have the solenoid on a Wemo that turns on at a certain time and then shuts off at a certain time, and I had it matched in with this tank, but I had the light parameters on the 33 set a little bit differently because the tank is in my bedroom and because I don't want the lights on when I'm sleeping. So I've kind of had to adjust everything to get it so that it's getting a proper time, length of time for light, to be under light, and also have it at a time when it's not disturbing me, but also so that the CO2 is being supplied at the same time the light's being supplied, and to make sure that they're both shutting off at the same time or around the same time. I certainly don't want CO2 pumping into a tank with no light. Number one, it's a waste. Number two, it's a risk for the fish. You're pumping a gas into a tank that's not being utilized by the plants when there's no light. So, but this tank's doing pretty well. You can see I got to do a little bit of trimming on this side. I'm not sure, I may have to do a major trim on the tree. It's getting so that it's growing so much that the light's not getting to the lower parts, and it's causing some milt, it's causing some ragged growth. So I'm debating on giving the thing a major trim, kind of see if I can get it restarted a little bit shorter. Damage is easy now anyway, so I need to do something. I will hopefully be able to post another update on the 33 and within a few weeks, a month, and show some progress there. I'm still going to replace some of the stones that are in there. Maybe use that lava stone that I pulled out the other day. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there yet, but kind of toying with a few ideas. But I'm still working on it, so I'll keep you posted. Thanks, everybody.